All right, so we almost have the park all to ourselves this Tuesday, January the 14th, 2025. After the crazy wildfires in Los Angeles, we have a few tourists probably that are in town loading the bus, and we're going to take a backlot tour just to sort of try and get some normalcy back in our lives in La La Land style.
All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Climb aboard, slowing down. Car forward, so sorry.
It's been a week after the fires started. I'm here at Universal Studios. The plan was to go to Mulholland Drive and check out the Franklin Fire in Franklin Canyon. But that's all blocked off, so I thought I'd come up here to Universal Studios and check on the Eaton Fire, which we can see back in the distance here. Looks like there's no smoke, which is good news. Earlier today, I also went and checked out the Palisades fire, and of course, everything is secure. The area is closed. The National Guard is still on scene, so there's no accessing the area unless you have explicit permission or you're a resident living in the area. So that rules out checking that out today. And it seems like all the fire areas are secure. I got a word from a friend who was at the Eaton fire yesterday, and they said, again, it's locked down. The California Highway Patrol is there and the National Guard, so no one's getting in or out of that area unless they actually are a resident with identification proof. There's still some aircraft flying around there, making some water dumps to try and douse any of the last remaining fires. JPL is over that way too. It's just where the 210 is, in between those two mountain ranges there, the foreground and the background, which is the San Gabriel Mountains. But everything looks good today. And because everything looks good today, I think we're gonna go on a backlot tour. So let's head on down and get on the bus and check out Universal Studios today, Tuesday, January the 14th, 2025. The Tuesday after the wildfires began in Los Angeles. It's nearly as vacant as it was during the pandemic. Unbelievable. Very few souls around. But that doesn't mean we can't have a good time.
As we're heading down our timeline, you're probably noticing lining our street over to the right some movie posters. These represent just a small handful of the over 8,000 different movies that we have been making right here since day one. Now, day one for us way back on March 15th of 1915. Nearly 110 years of making movies here in the studio. Now, our studio is split into two sections. We have a front lot and a back lot, and our driver Eric has just now taken us into the front lot. And this location does have a lot of these big buildings that we call sound stages that we use for controlled indoor filming. Look over to your left-hand side. This giant black and white building you see here, that is one such soundstage. That is Soundstage 12, and it is the largest of the 36 stages populating our studio today. So since that is the biggest soundstage we have, we've used it for some pretty big movies and some pretty famous movie scenes like these.
Say hello to my little friend.
Quite a few more stages to your left-hand side now, folks, and some of their doors are open too. Let's get a peek inside when the doors are open. We've been using this row of stages primarily for television show production recently. If you watch shows like Hacks on HBO Max with Emmy winner Gene Smart, they've utilized those sound stages. And also for our TED television show, based off of our movies, Ted and Ted 2, from creator Seth MacFarlane. It's a prequel television show set in the 90s. And you can catch that show streaming on Peacock. But we're approaching our second largest stage now. Again, on your left-hand side, it's stage 14. This has been home to movies like The Grinch, starring Jim Carrey. It's where we built The Grinch's Lair. Also Apollo 13 with Tom Hanks. That was where they built NASA's Mission Control Center. Stage 14 today is home to our television show Bel Air, which can also be found on our Peacock streaming service. Bel Air, if you're familiar, is our dramatic retelling of the show, The Fresh Prince of Bel Air, that stars Jabari Banks and Ollie Shelton. And they were recently picked up for a fourth and final season, so catch up with that show again, streaming on Peacock. But we have been giving you the greatest television shows basically since TV became the popular new form of entertainment in the 1950s. The sound stages to your right-hand side were once home to classic television shows, some of which are rolling across your monitors now. This is where we filmed for the Jeffersons, Charles in Charge, Coach with Craig T. Nelson, just to name a few. But they've also been home to some pretty big blockbusters. On your right-hand side now, here in the corner is Stage 19. That was used by director Christopher Nolan for his movie Oppenheimer with Cillian Murphy and Robert Downey Jr. But we've also got space here on the launch for production offices. On your left-hand side, these bungalows house offices like Illumination Entertainment and Mark Platt Productions. Now, Mark Platt Productions, they brought us a movie musical, Wicked, with Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande, from director John M. Chu.
Hey, Studio Tour. You're seeing a lot of behind-the-scenes movie-making magic today, showing you up close how filmmakers, like me, bring our dreams to the big screen. After your tour, the magic of Wicked continues at Universal Studios Hollywood, where you can experience photo ops, props, and costumes from the film, and fun bites and drinks from Shiz and Emerald City. But first, here's a look at Wicked.
It's a new medical comedy set in the St. Denis Medical Hospital, and we've built the inside of the hospital inside that soundstage. But if they need scenes outside the hospital, we move over here to the backlot and our metropolitan sets. On your right-hand side, you can actually see the front of St. Denis Medical Hospital. It's where the red brick is. You can actually see the emergency room doors, where the ambulances park as well. So all the exterior scenes filmed here on the backlot, the interiors shot in the sound stages. That is how our studio here is designed to work. But we want to show off now what I think is the most recognizable location in our studio. And if this tram could reach 88 miles an hour, you'd all know what I'm talking about. That's right, folks. Welcome to Hill Valley, California, from Back to the Future Part 1 and Part 2. That is the clock tower you see on your left-hand side. But even the road that we just turned off of on the far left side of the square, so that was where the time machine went 88 miles an hour, got struck by that bolt of lightning in the epic climax of the first film. That spot is kind of a nice small town, small community vibe, but of course, as you know, in our movies and television shows, we gotta take you to the big city from time to time. And look at this, right around the corner, we have New York City. Welcome to the Big Apple, right here in Los Angeles. Now, y'all, my co-host Jimmy Fallon, he is definitely no stranger to New York City, so I'm gonna throw it back over to him and he's gonna show you around this location.
Hey everyone, welcome to New York! I got my start right here in New York on Saturday Night Live. This is actually my old neighborhood. Once got mugged over there. An old woman, a tough lady. This is my favorite hot dog guy. Hey buddy, how's it going? Remember me? No. Just like old times. Gotta love New York City.
Hey, I'm walking here. I'm walking here.
Hey, it's cool guys. I was just walking there. So it's not exactly New York, but a lot of times when you see New York in the movies, it was shot right here on the Universal Metro sets. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Even if you make it here on the Universal lot.
That's right, folks. Y'all have seen this here as New York City in some pretty big blockbuster movies like Captain America, the first Avenger, starring Chris Evans. This was 1940s Brooklyn in that motion picture. This has also been New York for two different Spider-Man outings. We had Tobey Maguire down here for scenes in Spider-Man 2, and Andrew Garfield also here swinging from webs for scenes in The Amazing Spider-Man. Now this can honestly play any major city, not just New York. This has also played our own downtown Los Angeles for television shows like American Ninja Warrior. If you watch that series, when they're doing the LA trials, they build the whole course for the athletes up and down this road right here. Of course, when you watch the show, they're still going to hear the announcers saying, "We're live from downtown LA." No, they're not. They're right here. We just make this look like downtown LA. We've also turned this area into Chicago for the comedy classic, The Blues Brothers, starring Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi. Take a look.
When the Pinto fell and you saw it land and make this big hole in the street, that was on the back lot. We dropped it from a crane. You dig like that in Chicago, not a good idea.
When people ask me of all of the movies I've ever done, what was the most satisfying and the most fun, I've got to say Blues Brothers. We got to sing, we got to dance, got to drive, and trained with the best stunt people in the world, and got to be an actor and a writer. So it was a good piece of work.
Danny called John America's Guest because just you walk into anybody's house.
During the shooting of the movie, John was missing. We couldn't find him.
Danny went off looking for him, saw a light on in this one house, knocked on the door.
I said, "Sir, we're doing a movie down here. We're looking for one of our actors." "Oh, John, yeah, he's on my couch. He came in, he had a snack a couple hours ago. He's sleeping." He was America's Guest. I mean, literally that.
So our metropolitan sets, folks, are kind of like having our own concrete jungle here in the heart of our studio. But we are making our way up this hillside now to get you next in the jungles of Skull Island. And it's time to experience our first attraction on the tour. This one being King Kong, the 360 3D, brought to us by Academy Award-winning director Peter Jackson.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old. I wanted to become a filmmaker. I like films that just take you away from your real life and sweep you up an adventure. Kong literally does that. I mean, you're on board the ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters and creatures from, prehistoric times. So I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Skull Island, and it's great to have you along for the ride. Now, we have created this 3D immersive experience, so you're going to have your glasses ready. Don't put them on yet, but just have them in your hand because we're about to return to Skull Island.
So that's right, folks. You heard the man. Have your 3D glasses in hand, ready to go. He is going to pop back up on your screens here in a few moments. He's going to let you know when it's time to put them on, so just have them at the ready. But now is also a great time to safely stow away any and all loose belongings. You do not want to drop anything inside here. You may never see it again. Hold on tight. We're going to shake you around a bit now. Welcome to Skull Island.
That's so sure.
Glasses. You're going to need them one more time at the end of our tour for an even bigger 3D attraction, if you can imagine. Just make sure they don't go falling off the side on you. The additions to our backlot space here is this awesome mural on the side of this building, paying homage to all of our iconic movie monsters. That mural is all the more impressive when I tell you it was done by one person, a street artist named Tristan Eden, who did the entire thing freehand, using only cans of spray paint. Now, pretty cool addition to our backlot space. But look over to your left-hand side now. Let's switch it up. Some of our backlot sound stages across the way. If you're a fan of The Voice, take a look at stage 30. You'll see the logo for The Voice painted right there on the corner. The Voice being the NBC live singing competition show. They utilize stages 30 and 31. And on this most recent season of The Voice, one of the coaches was Reba McEntire. And folks, she did not have to travel far to film her other show on NBC. The show Happy's Place, because they filmed next door in stages 32 and 33. Two shows running simultaneously on NBC, and luckily for her, they shot mere feet apart. We went easy on her. We brought you classics like Dracula with Bela Lugosi, Frankenstein with Boris Karloff, even his Bride of Frankenstein with Elsa Lanchester. And those earlier monster movies, they were captured right here, up and down these cobblestone streets of Little Europe. Now, if you've seen our monster movies, you know they pretty much all share one scene in common, and that is when the angry villagers grab their torches, their pitchforks, and then they chase those monsters all around the town square. Well, this is where we would film all of those sequences within our European sets. Take a look. Our European sets there may also look familiar if you have seen movies like Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl with Johnny Depp, Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley. Disney utilized that as Port Royal in that first Pirates film. Disney also utilized our European sets there as their fictional country of Genovia for Princess Diaries 2.
A bad place, like.
Well, it doesn't sound awesome.
Now, folks, A Good Place actually filmed kind of all over our studio property here, including the next location we're going to drive you through. We're about halfway through the tour. The sun is shining. That means it's time for the beach. And you already know there's no beach better than the one over here at Amity Island. Lovely water, beautiful houses. They do have a small shark problem. But don't you worry, my buddy George, he's a professional shark catcher. He's out there in the water making sure nothing's gonna bother us. Whoa, wait a minute. There is a shark out there. George, there you are. George, do you see that shark? It's swimming right for you. George. Hey man, are you okay? Oh, maybe you didn't hear me. Let me try again. George, just swim for the boat. Dude, you're like 5 feet away. Kick your feet. George. On second thought, we're gonna leave him be. You know, he works better in solitude. He can get a little camera shy. We're gonna give him some space. Don't you worry, he is a trained professional. He knows what he's doing. It is your safety I'm more concerned about. So we're gonna park you in the safest spot around here, I know. Yes, right here, behind this pier full of flammable barrels of gasoline. Shark Bruce, working super hard tonight. Now we've named him Bruce because that's the name Spielberg gave to his mechanical sharks when he was making the movie Jaws, and the name stuck. It's kind of an ongoing thing in the industry now too. If you have a shark in your movie, well, why not name it Bruce? For example, if y'all have seen the Disney Pixar movie Finding Nemo, the name of their great white shark, that's right, it's Bruce. They're paying homage to our shark over there. Now, we added this attraction to our studio tour back in 1976. That was 1 year after Jaws was released into theaters, which tells you just how popular Jaws was upon its initial theatrical release. But that's not our oldest attraction. We're going to bring you to the very first attraction we ever added way back in 1968, a little weather demonstration. We are going to show you how we create a thunderstorm. The movies and television show. So watch the clearing on your left-hand side. That thunder you hear, it is just coming from speakers. We got them hidden throughout the area. The lightning you see is made by strobe lights. They are sitting up on the rooftops. And now we just need some rain. All right, let's have action on the rain. Thank you. All right, y'all follow those raindrops all the way up, and you're going to see they are just shooting out of an overhead sprinkler system that we call rain towers. They are shooting the water up into the air, so it just falls back down naturally. And when we light the raindrops from behind, it really makes them show up nicely on camera. But the idea, we control it. We started the rain when we wanted to. Better yet, we can stop the rain when we want. Very important here in Southern California. If it rains too much too quickly, we are bound to... Wait, do you hear a rumbling? Oh no, we're bound to create a flash flood. You might want to take cover. Ta-da! Weather. That is all there is to it. It's really that simple, folks. And I'd be willing to bet that you have seen that flash flood effect before on camera. It can be seen in the movie Big Fat Liar with Paul Giamatti, Amanda Bynes, and Frankie Muniz. And now we're going to drive you through the oldest part of our movie studio that's still standing today, our Western sets. Parts and pieces of these Western structures that date back to our silent filmmaking years of the 19-teens and early 1920s. But this area, it's still used all the time, even today. If you are fans of Quentin Tarantino's body of work, this probably looks familiar. He utilized this entire street in what is still his latest movie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Came out back in 2019 with Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, and Margot Robbie. Go back and rewatch that movie. About 35 minutes of the runtime happens right here on this road. If you remember in the film, DiCaprio, he is playing a very famous Western TV actor named Rick Dalton. And in the world of the movie, his character is filming for a Western television show called Lancer. That's where all those scenes were shot. So folks, sometimes our movie studio just plays a movie studio. But in addition to that, every single famous cowboy you can think of or mention at one time or another filmed a movie in our Western sets. We have had cowboys walking down those roads like these. Alright, y'all, we're going to briefly retrace our steps here as we drive by that Jaws attraction once more. Again, you'll see it on your right-hand side. But folks, this time, as we drive by the Jaws attraction, look beyond the water. All the little houses and shops there around it. We use those for all 12 seasons of the television show Murder, She Wrote with Angela Lansbury. That's the town there of Cabot Cove, Maine. And And now right into what I think is arguably the most famous movie set standing anywhere in Hollywood today. The main setting from Alfred Hitchcock's classic thriller Psycho, with Anthony Perkins and Janet Leigh. Oh, and looky here! What have we stumbled upon? It's the owner of this establishment, folks. That is Norman Bates. I can see the looks on some of your faces. It's okay. He's moved back. He's made a lot of progress. Therapy does wonders. I actually think he's reopened. He might have a customer today. What's happened in cabin number 1? He does. Look at this 5-star service. Helping this poor woman all the way over into her trunk. You know what, everyone? Just be cool. Everyone smile and wave. Everyone say, hi, Norman. Hi, Norman. It's okay. Wait a minute, Eric. I know that look. Yeah, that's a knife. On second thought, we're gonna get out of here. Wave goodbye to Norman, who's not slowing down. Car forward. So sorry. Close call. Let's go see his house. On top of the hill, we're going to drive right by the Psycho house. And this is original to the movie back in 1960. And then I want you to look at what we stuck right in their backyard. We have this epic airplane crash set. Now this is from Steven Spielberg's movie War of the Worlds, starring Tom Cruise and Dakota Fanning.
The airplane crash set is a perfect example of a set that is all designed about a vision that Steven had. And for it to get him to sit down and talk about the War of the World, I thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see. You're doing good. You're doing good. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen, I want you to close your eyes, okay? Down close. Let me get in.
Now, folks, we have used this area for production since War of the Worlds. A commercial that's like to film your insurance commercials. If you have some... We'll take you now from this movie set involving an alien invasion directly into another. Up ahead of us, we have the Jupiter's Claim set from Jordan Peele's latest movie, Nope. That stars Daniel Kaluuya and Kiki Palmer. And better yet, as we drive you through it, we have the man himself here to talk all about it. Writer, director, producer, Jordan Peele.
Movie magic only happens when a team of collaborators, often in the hundreds, work together to take an impossible mission and bring it to life. This is Jupiter's Claim, a nostalgic, small-time Southern California amusement park owned by former child star Ricky Juke Park. Over there, look into the winking well and have your picture taken just like the kids in that old 90s movie Kid Show. That's what this whole place is loosely based on. Remember that one? No? Well, a little further down, you can see the brand new Star Lasso experience. Built to showcase an unbelievable new live show. It's not looking so live anymore. Anyway, behind this Hollywood fantasy, old rough frontier town, lies a sinister secret. It is smack dab in the center of the UFO hotspot. What's a bad miracle? Welcome to the world of no.
This set right here for Jupiter's Claim actually originally built up in Santa Clarita, California, where a lot of the movie shot. And they transported the sets down here, rebuilt them in this location just for our tour. And it was a pretty cool process having those sets transported down here. So here is Jordan Peele to talk a bit. Whoa, that is not Jordan Peele.
Look, this might be more serious than I thought. What just happened? This is a secure line. Who are you?
I'll tell you who I am, boy. I'm the reason bad guys use a nightlight. I'm the reason the boogeyman begs his mama to look under his bed. And I'm the reason you just lost control of this whole operation. My name is Special Agent Luke Hobbs of the U.S. Diplomatic Security Service. And as of 16.9 seconds ago, I'm the man in charge.
The hell you are.
Let me clue you in on two things, sweet cheeks.
All right, everybody, thanks for joining me on the Backlot tour today. The great news is there are no more fires in LA, it looks like. Even though the winds came in, they didn't kick all of those nasty fires back up, and the firemen have done a great job. Emergency service have done a great job. The city looks like it's safe, and we can get back to living in La La Land here at Universal Studios and around town, just doing the crazy La La Land stuff. So hearts out to everybody affected. We'll see you soon.